What's going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? And what I have for you today in this video is actually giving you guys an overview of iOS 7. So you guys didn't know, iOS 7 was released yesterday, September 18th, and today's the 19th. And tomorrow the iPhone 5s and the iPhone 5C will be selling in the Apple stores as well as the cell phone carrier stores. So if you guys are getting those devices, I wish you guys good luck, because if you are planning to wait in line, you're going to be waiting in line for a long time. In fact, some people are probably already waiting in line for a few days now. Yeah, that's how every iPhone launch is so far. But anyway, let's get on to iOS 7. Now, as you can see, my iPod is locked right now. I'm using my iPod Touch because my iPhone 4 is older hardware and not all the features are supported, so I'm going to be using my iPod. Now, first thing you'll notice is when you turn on the screen, you got yourself a new lock screen. Now, keep in mind, if you already had your custom wallpaper set, you're not going to be getting this kind of wallpaper right away. You have to set that by yourself. But as you can see, I set up the wallpaper right here, and the red looks very nice because it matches my red iPod right here. And if you'll notice, you can see that as you are tilting the device on one side, the wallpaper moves. So it is going with the accelerometer on your device, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's an issue for battery life in case that was going to drain, but oh well. And of course, you can slide to unlock, and there is your passcode. The only thing is that if you don't have the iPhone 5s, then you're not going to be able to lock your device with the fingerprint scanner, because if you're on an older device before the 5s, you don't have the fingerprint scanner on your device. So first thing I want to show you is actually one of my favorite features in iOS 7 is Control Center. So you actually slide it up from the bottom, although sometimes it won't get to it. There you go. And as you can see, here is Control Center. Now, what Control Center is, it's basically toggle settings. So if you guys don't know, this has been in Android devices for a while, and if you have a jailbroken iOS device or you jailbroke your iPhone before, then you can get this tweak called SB toggles, I believe it is, or SB settings, I'm sorry. And it's basically where you can slide from anywhere and then access your toggle settings. This has took Apple, for me, I feel like it took them too long to put this on here, but it's finally here, so I can't complain. You got airplane mode right here, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb, and orientation lock. And of course over here you can adjust the brightness, as you can see right here. Keep it right there so it's good for the camera. And you have a scrubber for your song that you're currently playing, as well as controls for your song. And you got AirDrop right here, which I'll explain that in a few minutes. And of course right here you got your flashlight button, so you have a device with a LED flash in the back, then all you have to do is push it and your flashlight is on. Push it again, push it again, and your flashlight is off. Okay, you also have the clock button right here, which you can set a timer for. That's what the purpose is, like so. Oop, sorry, don't want to show that yet, too late. And you have a calculator right here, as well as a camera button, and so that way you can quickly go into your camera app to take pictures or video, whatever you guys want to do. Now, as you guys just saw, which I shouldn't have shown you yet, but that's okay, is multitasking. So multitasking has changed, and this is like a WebOS kind of multitasking. So you guys don't know what WebOS is. That was like an old operating system run by Palm before they were given to HP, and HP kind of screwed them up. But this is like their cards multitasking, and all you have to do is swipe up, and then that app stops running in the background. Alright, so that's multitasking right there, and of course you can swipe all the way. The only thing is that Apple hasn't put in a feature where you can stop all apps from running in the background at once, so you have to keep sliding one by one, which I'm still iffy about it. Alright, next I want to talk about Mobile Safari. So Mobile Safari has gotten a change as well, and it looks different. So let me open up a new page right here. So this is your user interface, and of course you got your back and forward button, and this is actually your options button, and this is your bookmarks button right here. And you have 3 different tabs. You got bookmarks, and you have your reading list, and over here the app button. If you have Twitter installed on your device, and you have your device set up with Twitter, then these are all the links that all your followers or the people you are following, that have posted, and you can go to those links whenever you want. And of course, actually, let me show that. You have private right here, and that's basically for private browsing. And of course, you have a new user interface when you're seeing multiple tabs, and you can actually click and hold or push and hold, and then you can actually reorder these tabs. And of course, you can scroll up or down to see all the tabs that you have open. Or if you want to delete a tab, you can either hit the X button, obviously, or you can just slide to the left, and then your tab has been deleted. Alright, next I want to talk about AirDrop, which that was a feature that you guys saw before. Now, right here is AirDrop. So AirDrop is basically where like you can share any pictures or videos with another device that's near you. Just make sure that both devices are enabled for AirDrop. Unfortunately, this isn't available for all devices. In my case, I have an iPhone 4. Once I update that to iOS 7, which I haven't yet, AirDrop is not supported on the iPhone 4 from what I read, which is kind of disappointing, but the hardware just can't support it, which that's the purpose why Apple hasn't integrated AirDrop into the iPhone 4. Alright, so next I want to talk about the camera app. And I can find a camera app right here. So the camera app got a complete redesign, and you start off right here with your flash options. You have HDR photos, as well as this button right here to switch to the front-facing camera. You also have right here to view your camera roll, and you also have the shutter button right here. And you can actually swipe anywhere to change the settings. So in this case, I'm in the video settings, and of course, yes, the camera app is open right there, as you can see. And you have your photo button, and you have a square button where you can actually, oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to do that, I'm sorry. And when you slide onto to the square option, you can actually take your pictures as if it was in a square if you don't want the full size. And no, did not mean to do that. And you swipe to the right, and this is your Panamera mode. I can't speak today. Good God. And of course, once you push the shutter button, then you can like just slide your device around, so that way you can take a big photo. Alright, and speaking of photos, let's talk about the Photos app. So the Photos app has gotten a new redesign as well. You can do much more with the Photos app. And of course, you go into the camera roll right here, and you can, of course, push to hold, or if you were in the photo, you can actually pinch out of it if you wanted to, and of course you can spin it as well. And you also have a bird's eye view, so which I'm not going to demonstrate at this point because I got like some photos on there that people don't want to be exposed. It's basically pictures of my family, and I'm sure they don't want to be exposed because they told me not to. But it's basically the bird's eye view. That's where you're able to see all your pictures are organized into one, and it'll organize by year. So 2011, 2012, 2013, and you can actually push and hold and just scrub around the pictures to find a picture that you're looking for, which is awesome. Next I want to talk about is Siri. So if your device has Siri installed into it, Siri has gotten smarter, and Apple says it sounds a lot more natural now. Now for me, it does sound a little bit better, but it still sounds kind of robotic at the same time. So let's use Siri and demonstrate it. Hi Siri, who are you today?
I'm Siri, here to help.
And of course, So I don't know if you guys feel like it sounds natural. It's me. It's kind of sounds the same, but a little bit different. That's all it is to it. You have a question mark button right here, which is basically giving you help. And if you are not sure that Siri is hearing you accurately, you can actually tap to edit and then start typing whatever you want. And of course, there's a new design keyboard right here. And of course, the one thing is that you guys know the notification center. It used to be where you can tap on a bar right there and type out a tweet if you have Twitter integrated into iOS. Well, I actually can't find a feature notification center right now in iOS 7, so I'm not sure if they disabled it or if they just got rid of it. The only way I can tweet using iOS without having to go into the app is if I tell Siri this: tweet.
What would you like to say?
Okay, and then all I have to do is hit that text box and I can type out the tweet myself, or speak to Siri to tweet it for me, which I don't want to do that because sometimes it'll be inaccurate and then I have to keep canceling it and then redoing everything, which is a hassle to do. Alright, so that's Siri, and of course you can actually change to the female voice or the male voice, so you can do between two different things. And let me talk about the App Store right here. So the App Store obviously is redesigned, but it has this feature called Near Me, and it's basically where you have that option enabled, and it'll give you a suggestion of apps depending on your location, and of course you're going to have auto updates. Now the first time my device, my iPod right here, was updating my apps, it did not automatically update. I was like, wait a minute, why is that the case? That's because you are missing one more step. And you actually have to enable this. So what you do is you just scroll all the way down to iTunes and App Store, which is probably going to show my account information. So let me check. Yeah, it did. So you just scroll all the way down, and when you scroll all the way down, you see updates right here. All you have to do is just slide it in order to enable it. And once you see it's green, then that means auto updates is on, and it's going to automatically update your apps. As far as the music app is concerned, the music app did get a redesign. You have iTunes Radio right now, as you can see. So for those of you guys that like to listen to the radio, go ahead. Of course, I got my playlist right here. These are all my playlists, artists, songs, and then you got more right here, and you can actually edit. And then I just changed one of the options right here. So in my case, I'm just gonna switch these around because I just feel like it's right this way. And of course, just put albums right there because I'm not going to use iTunes Radio. I don't listen to the radio as much. And I'm just going to turn the volume down all the way. Okay, it's already there. And I want to show you guys the user interface of the music player. So let me just pick this one. Okay, so as you can see, if you have a cover art for your album, it will be displayed right here, but it's not, so it just displays the title. And you have your scrubber right here, and you have the previous button, the play pause button, as well as a next button, and of course you have your volume scrubber right here. You also have repeat, so you can repeat song, repeat album, or repeat off, like shut it off. And of course you can shuffle, which I don't want to shuffle, and you can push that to get a list of songs, and you get this cool animation right here that shows you that the song is currently playing at the moment, which is pretty cool. And of course, rating, you can rate it if you want, which I don't do that. Alright, next I want to talk about the weather app, and I think the music's still playing in the background. Yeah, I forgot that. So let's talk about the weather app. Now, to me, I don't really like the weather app so much because I don't feel like it's really that accurate compared to the Weather Channel app. But then again, the Weather Channel is not accurate too. But all weather forecasts are basically not that accurate. They can't predict weather perfectly all the time, which I understand. So you get a new user interface for the weather app. You also have your hourly forecast right here, as you can see. You also have the next few days forecast. So in this case, it's 5 days, and it shows you the current weather. And in this case, New York, 73 degrees. It's not that bad. It's probably a little bit hot outside, but not too hot. And of course, you can swipe around. You have a Yahoo button right here, and you push this for more options. You can change it from degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius, as well as add another city if you wanted to. Alright, so let's take a look at the calendar app. So your calendar app is redesigned as well, and of course you have all your events at certain times. You can also change the dates you wanted to. Today, calendars, you can hide whatever you need to hide. You have inbox right here, which no invitations. You also have this button right here to go back, so you can see a monthly view as well as go back to see a yearly view. So 2013, 14, 15, 16, so all of the other calendars for future years are already made, so Apple decided to integrate those there. And if you wanted to simply go back, you just tap on a month, tap on a day, and then it'll show you all the schedules. I like the monthly view better. Let's talk about the Messages app. Messages app, I don't use it because I got nobody to text. So, you new user interface, but if you were to have messages right here, you can swipe to the edge as well. I want to talk about the folders feature. So, folders was integrated into iOS in iOS 4, and you only had a limit of, I believe, was 12 apps in there. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think that is for 3.5-inch devices, and I believe with the 4-inch devices, in this case the iPod and the iPhone 5, I think that you were able to have 16 apps in one folder, because I remember it added an extra row. But here's my games folder, and as you can see, it used to be all full, and now you got spots for one more, so I'm not sure if... No, it doesn't do that. But you can actually put in more apps if you wanted to, and it'll just keep on going. And then, of course, another page is open. So I can pretty much get rid of all these other folders and just put my games into one folder, and then that way I don't have to keep scrolling all the way to the right or whatever and find my games. I can put it all in one folder and then put it on a closer page if I wanted to. Which I don't know if that folder will be deleted. So yeah, I'll figure that out later. No, I'm sorry, I'm attempting to do all that right now. Oh, it actually still has all my apps on there. Huh, that's kind of weird. Oh well, I'll figure that out later. And let me talk about Game Center. Game Center is basically redesigned. I don't use Game Center at all because I don't like the way it was developed. So I just don't bother to use Game Center. And of course, the Mail application right here. You got a new user interface for Mail, and of course, it used to be where like you swipe to the right and you can delete whatever. You actually swipe to the left and you get options. Now, in my case, I'm using Gmail, so I have more and archive. That's about it. And last but not least, the Notification Center. So here's a Notification Center, and these are all my notifications right here. It's just going to show you whatever you have, and missed is if you missed something. So that is it for iOS 7. How do I like it so far? I really like it so far. I'm impressed. Of course, there are some things that I don't like, but that will be coming up in a later video. So stick around, because this isn't the only video on iOS 7 I'm doing, because my iPhone 4 is actually still on iOS 6.1.3, but I just want to do a comparison on the look between the two operating systems, because Apple has actually redesigned iOS and has put that into the iOS 7 update since Scott Forstall was fired from Apple. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. You have a good day now, and take care. iPhone 5C or iPhone 5S? Let me tell you my thoughts about these devices.